Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. In this video, we'll discuss NVIDIA stock price movement for today and we'll try to make an assessment for early next week using technical charts, fundamentals, economic data, and forward PE analysis. We'll also take a quick look on SMCI and Avago stocks. Now, let's get started. You see NVIDIA stock chart for today on your screen. NVIDIA opened at 124.58. It made a high 127.71. It made a low 122.75 and it closed at 123.54. That is 0.36% down. As I mentioned yesterday that on Friday NVIDIA most likely would move sideways and you can notice some volatility on NVIDIA stock movement. So that's what we saw today. No big movement, and lots of ups and downs, and NVIDIA price movement for today. So there was no clear direction. And today's stock price movement was mostly dependent on PC index data. So as of this morning, the PC index data just matched the forecast. Let me show you. You see on your screen, the actuals came 2.6% versus forecast 2.6%. So this is perfectly aligned with my yesterday expectation. I was expecting that the actuals should match the forecast. And if you take a look, last month it was 2.7, also matched the forecast. But before that, you see, it came higher than the forecast. But at this time, it's good to see that the PC index data came lower than the last month, and that's a good sign. But overall, still it is above 2.5. So market did not react to PC index data too much. In my opinion, it was not a bad news. So I'm expecting that the next week market might start moving up. Now going back to the Nvidia chart. So last 5 days Nvidia 0.18% up, last 1 month 7.59% up, and last 6 months still 149.47% up. So I am seeing more gradual correction on Nvidia in next week or so before the earnings. Now let's take a look forward PE for Nvidia and SMCI. You see the latest forward PE for Nvidia, Palantir, SMCI, and AMD in this table. As of this point, Nvidia is at 45.76. And if you compare with the last 6 weeks of data, it's kind of lie in the middle. But you can see that on 6/14, Nvidia forward P was too high, and it was very risky to buy Nvidia around that price. So it was too risky to buy at that time because Nvidia forward P was close to 50. And on 6/14, I warned you guys that the forward P for Nvidia is too high at this point, and there is some chance that Nvidia can start making some correction. Palantir 76.76 still looks to me high. SMCI 26.24. At this point, it looks to me a very good buy for SMCI. And today I bought some SMCI stock. I'm still in loss at this point on SMCI, but I'm not worried too much because I think that next week I will be in profit. And if you take a look, SMCI is already 7% down today. You see here, 819. In my opinion, it's not a very bad buy at this price. Now let's take a look NVIDIA stock split historical data and see where does NVIDIA stand as of now. So you see this table. So this was the end of the third week today after split became effective. And if you see that at this point, NVIDIA is 30.11% up from the announcement date. And from the second week to the third week, you see 3% drop. So that's what I expected early this week. I expected some slowdown on NVIDIA stock this week, and that's what exactly happened. And if you compare with the last stock split cycle, the third week was also slow. So second week versus third week, you see some decline on third week. And the fourth week, you also see a decline in the last split cycle. So based on that reference point, I'm not expecting a big jump on Nvidia stock price next week. So next week probably it would move between 25% to 35% increase from the announcement date. Now let's take a look technical charts. You see 90-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia on your screen and also the MACD chart. As we noted on Thursday that the MACD was not showing a very strong momentum. So my expectation for Friday was Nvidia would move slow. So that's what we saw today. Not much activity on Nvidia. It's a very quiet day for Nvidia. And on Monday, I'm also expecting not a big jump on Nvidia or the big decline on Nvidia. So probably it will be just a sideways movement on Monday. Now let's take a look RSI. So RSI at this point is at 44.9. It's neither oversold nor overbought at this point. So based on RSI, Nvidia can move in either direction. Now let's take a look Fibonacci levels. You see Fibonacci levels on your screen starting from 0% to 100%. The highest point is 140.56 and the lowest point I've selected is 93.51. I want to see a shorter term outlook at this point. Nvidia is trading around 123.75 at this point, and the next level of support is 122.59. So next week, Nvidia might try to test this level, right? On the upper side, the resistance is 129.46. So in order to go up and break 129.56, Nvidia needs to have some strong data or some event or some news that can take it further up. At this point, it looks to me all the news and the data is pretty old, and Nvidia needs something new to get the strong momentum. And after 122.59, the next level of support is 117.03. So if Nvidia goes down next week, probably 117.03 is a good buy for a short term. But if it goes further below, then around 112 will be a very good buy to hold Nvidia until earnings. Now let's take a look news regarding Nvidia. So you see the news regarding Nvidia on your screen. So at this point, there is nothing new regarding Nvidia. All the news and the analysis pretty much on the old topic. So at this point, like I mentioned, Nvidia needs something exciting or something new or some strong data that can take Nvidia further up. If that doesn't happen, then probably we'll see some slowdown or sideways movement on Nvidia. Now let's take a look at other AI stocks. You see the highest positive change today is on AMD, 1.72%, and it makes sense because in past few days AMD was in the negative territory. So that's good to see. And also Vago is 1.19%. At this point is above 1600. It looks to me a little expensive. So based on my understanding, if it goes below 1500, that will make a Vago a very good buy. And there is a possibility that it may go below 1500 before the earnings. And Palantir is also positive 0.44%. At this point, it's 25.33. I'm not going to suggest Palantir at this price. It looks to me a little expensive. Nvidia 123.54, 0.36% down. SoundHound 1% down. Microsoft 1.3% down. And Apple, Amazon, and SMCI also down. If you remember, I mentioned that last week I bought Amazon shares and sold it, and I made some money on Amazon. Again, I'm watching Amazon very closely. So if it goes below 190, probably around 185 or 186 will be a good buy. So I'll buy Amazon shares around 185 or 186. And then SMCI is 7.98% down. At this point, it's 819. In my opinion, it's a very good point to buy SMCI and keep it for some time because it should go above 900 before the earnings. And again, these are all my opinions and assessments based on my knowledge and experience. But you never know. Market can give me a surprise any given day. Now let's take a look economic calendar for next week. For Monday next week, nothing big is coming. July 2nd on Tuesday, no big data is coming, but Mr. Paul is making a speech. So on Wednesday, nothing big is coming, but we have weekly initial jobless claim. It's not going to impact the market too much. On Thursday, no data is coming. As we know, it's the July 4th holiday. On Friday, we have the employment report and the unemployment rate data gonna be released, and that's very important. And that's all about NVIDIA analysis and assessment for next week. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care.